This video is sponsored by Yeedi. Hello, robot vac fans. So I have a new machine sent to me by Yeedi. Now I've reviewed one of their robot vacs before, and this is a new one that they have. Box in a box. Pretty well packed. It's got some weight to it. Let's get this outer box out of the way. Maybe a little farther out of the way. All right, so here's the box. And it's obviously Yeedi. So this one, well, I guess I can slit the top, I suppose. Let's do that. I was going to do this unboxing outside. I have a nice metal table outside on my deck, but the wind kicks up once in a while, and then you can't hear me. And certain things might blow off the table, I suppose, that are lighter. So I decided not to do that. So this thing has like little finger holes right here to pull this out. So we have a box, and a box, and a box. All right, let's get that other box out of the way. All right, I've opened it upside down. So I'm going to flip it over. Or at least I think it's opened upside down. All right, let's see what we got. Ah, wonderful. All right, so we have manual, quick start guide. I'll do a close-up of that a little bit later. And we have a mopping attachment. This looks like you can, yeah, it's a stick-on. So you pull it off, put it back on as need be. All right, we've seen that before. You put your water in here, fill that up. Okay, move that off to the side. Here's the main unit. Let's see, what's a good way to pick this up? They put it in a nice, this is so unusual. They put it in, honestly, it almost seems like a vacuum bag. It's cloth, it's not plastic. So that's kind of a nice touch. Certainly it won't scratch anything. And take me a minute. I don't want to destroy the bag. Okay, come on out here. It's kind of grabby because you've got some nice thick rubber wheels here. Okay, so I did a Yeedi Vac Max. This one is a slightly different model. It's called the Yeedi Vac 2 Pro. And it says that here. I know you probably can't see that, but this is the Vac 2 Pro. Move that off to the side. We'll keep going. Let's see. I have a cord. Okay. And we have the side brushes, and that's okay. All right. This is going to be the same thing as the other one. That's going to snap on the underside of this. Here's the charging base. Now I know for other models they had an emptying docking station. So they didn't send me that. So I have to, review what I have. I know some people asked about that, but they have chosen not to actually send that to me. So I'm just peeling stuff off here. This says to peel this off. Okay, peel that off. Charging station. And that's all that's in this box right now. So I can get this out of the way. We'll concentrate on the parts. Okay, here we go. Main unit. It looks real similar to the other unit that I had previously reviewed. So take a closer look here. Open that up. See, I don't need that tape getting in the way again. So let's see, can I just pull that off? Okay, don't need that piece of tape. Let's get rid of that. So we have, as you've seen before, a quick start guide. There's that. And then we have a limited warranty. And let's see here. You'll have to read that, see what's going on. It seems to be 1 year from original date of purchase. Yeedi will, at its option, repair, replace with a new refurbished product parts, blah, blah, blah. So you can read that on your own. Seems to be a 1 year warranty. And here's the instruction manual. Yeedi Vac 2 Pro. So it looks like it's pretty typical. It's in several languages. It looks like English, Spanish, and French. All right, that's pretty typical. So we'll move this off to the side here. Let's take a closer look at the main unit. So let's see, this comes up, and this is a packing piece here. These come out, and you need to take these out. All right. And you have, well, you know what? Here, let's put one piece on. Let me flip this around. So you've got these wall brushes or edge brushes, and this should just snap on. There you go. All right, fantastic. While I'm down here, how about we take a look at the brush roll assembly. This is very similar to the previous unit that I reviewed. So you have, let me get real close. You have rubber strips, and it's soft, it isn't stiff. And then you have these bristles right here. They're very long. They are really super soft. They are literally incredibly soft. So this setup isn't going to hurt anything. So you have the squeegee effect, then you have, I guess, some really soft agitation. And that should just pop back in. So I've kind of already shown you how to do a little bit of maintenance to it. This should go in like this and click on both sides. All right, that's great. These wheels are very soft, pliable rubber. So that's nice. This is not hard plastic. This is a rubber, and that's wonderful. Some of the hard plastic stuff, it can scratch. So let's turn this around. Let's take a look at the top. So here's your dirt recovery bin, and it's got a filter in it. So I can push that. This should, it's very stiff. This should pop out. It's hinged, so that's how you would do your dump. And then this comes out. Let's see, how does that come out? It does come out, doesn't it? Because this is a washable part here. It must just be so stiff that I can't pop it out. Does it come out this? Okay, it comes out. All right, comes out this way. So you see it's got two pieces. So here's your filter, and then here's another, it's just like a foam filter, and you can wash these. Yeah, it actually says that you can wash these. Here's the instructions. There you go. Step 1, empty. Step 2, separate everything. Step 3, you can go and empty everything, get the debris off. Step 4, you can wash everything, and then step 5, let everything completely dry. Yeah, that's important. Don't put stuff in wet. All right, let me me get this back together. That'll go in first. This doesn't seem to have a direction. So yeah, that just fits in and then clicks. Okay, that's great. This is very similar to the previous model I had. You've got a large on-off button here, and I imagine when I turn it on, it's probably going to ask me to go ahead and charge it. There is an app, and you have, if you've got a smartphone, if you hold this image up to your smartphone, if I can do that without hitting the camera, it should bring you up to the Yidi app. Now, I already have the Yidi app installed on my smartphone. You can see that in a previous video. But I imagine if you just go to your app stores, whether you're Android or Apple, and then you can look up Yidi, and then you'll see the app actually come up. What else? Oh yeah. So this is kind of cool. They put it on board here. I don't have any fingernails, so it's kind of hard for me to pop that out of there. There we go. So you have got a general cleaning tool here. There you go. So you've got some bristles, kind of scraping stuff off, and then you have a blade in here, and that'll help you cut hair. Because my wife's hair is 2 feet long, and it gets tangled around every brush roll imaginable. Let's see, how can I, is it this way, or is it the other way? Oh, maybe it's the other way. Does it fit better this way? Oh yeah, it's got a little notch right here. Okay, so I'm putting it in backwards. There we go, that's snapped back in. All right, so let's get this set. Before we go and put this on the charging base, because the first thing you're going to do is charge this thing. Let's take a closer look at the mopping assembly. So you have, I'll call this a crash bar. So when the Yidi comes and it begins to actually hit an obstruction, this bar will move a little bit, and then of course it'll recognize, hey, you know, I've just hit something. But on the rear of it, you can pull this out, which is just like a blank, so to speak, and then you can put the mopping attachment in with water. And this should, once I push the cap down for the water here, got to put that back in there. There, it's got to be flat. This should just click right into the back. So you see it kind of sticks out a little bit. It's a little proud of this edge, whereas this one fits completely flush. You should be able to tell that the mop attachment is actually installed, and that's what it looks like. And this will get this wet. I know you have several different levels of wet you can choose from, and you will have the ability to dry clean first. So, you know, the unit goes in a particular direction, and the Yidi will literally pick up the dry dirt first. It'll come across all this kind of nifty bristle stuff in here, get the dry dirt up, and then it will go and do a clean mop. So with water, for example. This is the Yidi that I first reviewed a little while ago, and this is the new Yidi. Now there are some cosmetic differences in the front, to be sure, but they're very, very similar, and from where I'm standing, I don't really see all that much difference. So if we take a look at the mopping attachment in the Vac Max, you can see that it basically just has a reservoir for water. It's all completely clear, and then it will essentially damp mop your surface. Okay. Now, if we take a look at the Vac 2 Pro, this is very different. So you still go and put water in here, but there is an electrical connection. And Yidi says that this mop attachment right here will oscillate. Now, I don't know if that necessarily means it's going to buzz around in a circle. Of course, that would mean like orbit rather than oscillate. Or it just goes back and forth or side to side or some other random method. But when we do the actual bare floor tests on my linoleum, I'll have to try to see if I can figure out in what direction does this particular pad happen to move when it's running. But that's, I suppose, one of the biggest differences that I see between these two machines. This is powered and will actively agitate rather than just drag along the floor, and this one just literally drags along the floor. So now, since all that is fully assembled, let's see how this can be set up for charging on the dock. So we have to unwrap this. Whee! And then this is going to plug in here. So it's like a little sheath. That'll plug into regular 120. So as I remember, you have to push pretty firmly to push this plug in. Yes, there you go. So fairly firmly. This is all pretty soft. There's even foam right here, and this is a somewhat sticky plastic. So this should be able to handle any type of surface as well. Oh, look at that. And it won't slip. So that's great. Because you could have some docks that, you know, your robot vac comes up to park on it, and the dock literally just slips on whatever surface you put it on. And this, if I tilt it up like that, it doesn't do anything, but that stays down fairly well. Okay, that's pretty sturdy. So let me see what I got going on here. I'm going to plug this in. So let's see what happens. I'm going to turn this from 0 to 1. And also there is, yeah, that's it. So now you've got this main switch. It's now illuminating. There we go. All right, it may or may not set.
Please scan the QR code on the robot to download the app and get started.
There you go.
Switch to vacuum and mopping mode.
Yeah. There, it just recognized that the mopping attachment was installed. However, all I'm going to do is just manually put this up here on the dock, and hopefully it'll start charging.
Starting charging.
All right, great. So now we finished with the unboxing. We're starting charging, and when this is charged, I will assume that you'll have the app already installed on your phone, and we'll go ahead and run this, and we'll see what the differences are.